Kimberly, welcome to Dr. Pascal podcast. Thank you for joining us. I'm fortunate to know Kimberly already. When I did a little bit of research, I was very pleasantly surprised. You have quite an amazing route sheet. What you do is really important. It's pretty big. So I'm very privileged and blessed to have you on our podcast. You do breathing work. Maybe tell the audience how did that come about?
Almost 16 years ago, I just wasn't feeling good. My health wasn't good. I was only 22 years old. And I just prayed for something to come in my life. Like nothing was working. And the next day I met my breathwork coach. And I did one session, just 1 hour of real gentle breathing. And my body just gently released so much pain and trauma from my past in just an hour. And I was so blown away by it that I wanted more. I wanted to know how I want to keep this going, because it made me feel so good and so alive. And I got off my prescriptions that I was on because my body was like, you don't need this stuff. You can just breathe. And the getting all the oxygen into the system will really help your body naturally go to that space of healing. So
what was going on? Like, were you ill? Was that something else, or?
Yeah, I believe I was in a really moldy house at the time. I was taking Adderall for energy and to be focused. I just didn't have my life urge was just super low. And I was drinking a lot. And then I had a rash on my body, and nothing could get rid of it. And so even prescriptions. So to have a chronic symptom for 2 or 3 years and trying everything to heal it, and lotions and potions and changing your diet and whatever, I did everything, spending tons of money. I did that one breathwork session, and I can feel my skin clear up. So, wow. When you have a chronic symptom like that, where it makes you want to not be here anymore, I wanted to die because nothing was working. Mm-hmm. And when I got all the oxygen in, I could feel my skin get better. And even the next day, you could just see, I could feel and notice a difference in my skin, and it was just clearing. And the more I did breath work, the more my skin cleared. And so, wow. Yeah. And I was hooked. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's amazing. We do oxygen therapies in different fashions. And there's a lot of types of breathing. I imagine you teach a specific type. I've read some books, for example, Daniel Nestor's book on breath per se. Mm-hmm. So how, what is your breathing? What is breath that you do? What saved you? Right.
Yeah. So this type of breath work, and now breath work is it's trending, and it's really starting to blow up. But this type of breath work, it used to be called rebirthing breath work in the 60s. So holotropic breathing and rebirthing breath work, I guess, started in the 60s. I'm sure they've been doing breathing exercises for thousands of years, but
right.
And what I like about this type of rebirthing breath work is it's really gentle. It's not inducing or forcing more oxygen into the body. It's just very calm, graceful, and it gives your body a chance to gently let go and gently release it and clear toxins and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, this is rebirthing breath work. They don't call it that anymore, but and then from rebirthing breath work, now there's tons of different names for it. So but
So how does that actually work? What does it actually look like? I'm only familiar with, for example, little things like, if you want to calm down before you're gonna deliver a speech, four,
Mhm.
four, four, 4
Yeah.
seconds, hold 4 seconds, things like that. When I was looking at the things you've done before, it seems to take about an hour.
This breathing technique, it's about 2 or 3 seconds on the inhale and then softly exhaling, letting it go. So no pauses, no holds, inhaling for 2 or 3 seconds and softly exhaling. So we do that for a full hour. And like the first 30 minutes, I kind of gently ease everyone into it. And it's getting everything stirred up in the body, all the stressors, the triggers of everyday life, or whatever the body is carrying, stress, whatever. And then the other 30 minutes, it starts to let it go, whether it's through activations in the body, or maybe if they have a little bit of slight pain in their heart or throat, sensations or whatever. Everyone's body's different, or maybe they get a slight headache. So you can feel that the body and the organs they're getting all the oxygen in. You can do it for 5 or 10 minutes if you want, like before a speech or something, or before you go into work. But a full hour can release a lifetime of stuff.
Wow, really?
Yes. And this type of breath work, actually, they called it rebirthing breath work because so many people, it took them back to their first breath of life, and they saw
Oh,
what it was like and felt what it was like being in the womb and coming out of the womb, and if it was traumatic or not, or if they came into this world not breathing, or if they were pulled out with forceps. So it kind of sounds terrifying, actually, but to have a breath work session take you that far back to heal any pain from your conception, womb, or birth experience, it's really, really profound.
wow.
So
That is big, because we hold, kind of PTSD type, memories, and we don't know a lot of times. We replay those, and it kind of has a tendency to make, your health decline and things like that. I see a lot of that in my practice. I examine patients, and I was looking for the root cause as much as possible. People come to me for, like, I don't know, even toothache or infections, and their health not getting better, so they think it's there, which, it can be. But because I ask a lot of questions, it comes down to, I can tell this person's got some trauma from the past that they're not getting over. And so I'm always looking for things like this that you're doing, to,
yeah,
because I can't do that either, right?
right.
It's
Yeah,
not, yeah, but,
you already have
um,
enough on your plate. For some reason, I was trained to take people, and gifted with it. I can take people back in a breathwork session. They don't even have to know what they're coming in the session for, or
really.
the breathing will help gently bring up the stored emotion or the trauma. And so I rarely
Really.
get to talk about birth trauma, taking them that far back, but that's where a lot of the roots in this life came from. So
Mhm.
if you weren't wanted, all that kind of stuff, there's so many layers to it, and it's really, really powerful. So
Wow.
I love taking people, showing them that they can access the root of a symptom or whatever's going on in the body, even in the organs, just from breathing. So and they don't have to know anything. The breath will always guide them and take them there.
That's really magnificent. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Kimberly, what kind of clients do you typically get? Like, who looks for you? Because I know there's a lot of people. I know you're super busy doing what you do. What
Mhm.
kind of type of people looking for things that come back to you, or is it a wide variety?
All walks of life. It's just a lot of people find me when they've tried everything, and
Mhm.
they've spent lots of money,
Yeah.
and then this is it. The breath
Yeah.
is the last resort. So,
Wow.
but you know what's pretty wild? In the last 2 years, I've been working a lot with women with breast implant illness. Like
Oh,
I'm booked out every month with breast implant after explant. So let's say,
after they've been removed.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I've got a great group of women. Uh, It was a referral from someone else, and they invited me in, and so it's really beautiful to see what oxygen can do through their detox process.
Mhm.
Everyone's detox process is different, and some women can't use the restroom. They're so constipated. And
Wow.
yeah, so when they do an hour of deep breathing, and I kind of guide them through this meditation where we massage the inside of their tummy with the oxygen, just nice deep loving breaths, and it opens up their digestive system and their organs, and then they'll have
Wow.
several bowel movements right after the session. So it's,
Really?
yeah, so
So what, you're talking about oxygen, but I do different oxygen therapies. We have a modified oxygen breathing with ozone. I just got a hyperbaric chamber last week,
cool.
and my wellness center, we do what's called EWAT, exercise with oxygen training. That's part of a protocol called superhuman protocol. But the point is, even though they feel better, I would say, like, it seems like you actually heal people. What's different about the breathing that does all that? That's like really fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know, because I've worked with people who have done the chambers and all that stuff, and
Hmm.
um I don't know. I try to hold a really safe place, like non-judgmental. Um, I try to hold a really safe place for people to be seen and heard. And when I feel that their body trusts me, then it can let go. And whether it's the body starts shaking or trembling, just real, not, you know, uh nothing crazy. I'm making this sound so scary, but when the body it's shaking out trauma, just like a vibration.
Hmm.
It might be embarrassing for people to let their body do that, but I try to just have a really safe place for them to just let it out. This is where you do
Hmm.
it in this session. Um,
Oh,
but I work with veterans with PTSD and strokes
really?
and all kinds, people with cancer and all kind. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just whoever needs me, they find me when they need me, I guess.
Wow. I mean,
Mhm.
I feel bad that I asked you that question because I reduced it to just being oxygen, but there's a therapeutic element that you seem to bring to the table
Mhm.
by your personality, by what you do, how you guide, and then I also understand, you know, disease can come from, for example, if you're stressed, you're in adrenaline, gets produced, you're in sympathetic, then the other side of the body that works automatically, parasympathetic gets shut down. But it seems like you have a knack at um, letting the body find, or letting the body, the body can magically heal itself, and it seems like you're able to tap into that.
Yeah. And during a breathwork session,
Hmm.
um, I I once they get to a certain place, um, I ask them what their body would like to say. And that's where the healing really happens too. Because when you're
Hmm.
breathing, even for 10, 20 minutes, you really get connected with your heart and why you're here and your purpose and what's good for you, what's not. Okay, I'm going to let that go and bring this in. And so I like taking people through this process where we ask your symptoms what they'd like to say or like to release. And that's where people can start. That's when they realize, like, oh, I can heal myself. I got this. Like, so
Hmm.
um yeah, I can't describe it. It's just one of those things you just have to try a session because it's
Yeah.
pretty, it's power, but anyone can access this. You just, you might have to have the right breath worker or someone that you feel safe with to take you through the.
But what I like about this too is like there's no kind of like bad secondary effects, like it seems like it's not medication, it's not, I don't know, like surgery, it's not like
Yeah.
takes a long, long time. It's really, that's amazing.
Just 1 hour. If you need clarity on something, if something's really bothering you, you just lie down for an hour and do this breathing pattern. Now, it's a lot better to have someone support you through it, but and just in 60 minutes, everything can change for you, just 60 minutes. It can take most people who are, if they're suicidal or they're hopeless, and in 60 minutes, they've blasted their cells with all the oxygen and they want to live again and they feel hopeful. And then they create something different or they move forward with their life.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Kimberly.
it's really,
Wow.
it's some of the most powerful work I've ever come across. So
wow. That does sound very, very powerful. So, immediately when I think about all this, so when clients go through this therapy with you, is it always in person or is it sometimes online type thing?
I kind of do both, but it's mostly over the phone or on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do it over the phone
and it sounds, sometimes you do groups.
Yeah, once a month I do group Zoom sessions and they're very private. You only see and hear me and everyone's muted. And I intuitively take people through this guided breathing meditation and everyone has beautiful releases, just big breakthroughs, even for their health. So you just show up and see what happens, kind of a thing. So I do that once a month and I charge hardly anything for it, and make it super affordable for the group sessions.
Yeah. If, I could totally see that a lot of my clients could benefit from that. I would love to like introduce that before they actually come to see me, just to get into a space, or maybe shortly after, because unfortunately there's a lot of trauma behind,
yeah, you're a doctor. That can be traumatic.
Yeah.
They're our first touch in life is from a doctor or nurse, whether it was and trying to breathe. People don't know how to breathe. So if they're working on their mouth. And I remember when I was getting my mercury removed and I'm like, wow, if I didn't know how to breathe, this would be kind of harder for me to do. And but it helps people know how to breathe through the moment. But yeah, and I have tons of free breath work. I have free breath work sessions. So all over the place on my YouTube and Instagram. But
you have a lot of content.
yeah. But yeah, I do breath work, like private sessions for people who are prepping to go into surgery. So they're calm. I work with a lot of pregnant women right before the baby comes out or during labor. Yeah, I'll get phone calls during labor if the baby gets stuck. And yeah. And so I just gently guide them through the breathing and the breath opens everything up and it's like a communication with the baby and then the baby moves right on through.
Wow, that's just fascinating. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, you can use your breath for anything and it sounds so weird, but it's one of those things you just have to try it to know what I'm talking about. Like people they fly to the Amazon and drink potions and ayahuasca, and you could just lay down for an hour and have a really beautiful experience, and your body will feel energized and at peace just from even 5-10 minutes of breathing if you don't do the full hour, because it's kind of daunting to think about breathing for a full hour because we're always holding our breath. So people are like, well, why do I need to breathe more? Well, we're always holding our breath. So we're always stressed or some, stuff's always going on. So it just really helps the body.
Wow. I believe it though, and we call it weird, but we say that when we don't really know, when it's been established, let's say, I don't know, scientifically or,
Mm-hmm.
then, oh yeah, we can put that with a different label. And when things work and we don't quite understand, we can call it weird, but doesn't mean, it's not true. And I believe what you're saying too, like it's probably been like that most of humanity, just instinctively we knew, but at the same time, it's true. We take breath for granted until we don't have any. But um, I see that in my work too, because I spend a lot of time looking at airways. It's not the same kind of breathing or issues that you deal with maybe, but I'm sensitive to breath, kind of medically speaking, because our airways have transformed over the years, and there's lack of proper sized airways. And so I know a little bit, not like you, but
Yeah.
it's a big deal for sure.
Yeah, it is. It makes, when you have more room in your lungs and through your body from doing a breath work session, I don't know, you just have more freedom, and it just feels really fluid, and it makes you feel really strong.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm obsessed with it. I didn't mean to become a breath worker. I just was so addicted to it. I was like, wow, I need to, I life just kind of took me in that direction. Like, you're gonna do
Mhm.
this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be broke for a long time doing this work. Because it's like, being an artist, trying to get people to breathe. It's anyway, I made it through the hardest part.
Yeah.
But
Well, I definitely want to talk to you again about how we can work together and make that available to my clients somehow. I think that would help a lot of people.
yeah,
And
oh, I'd be so honored.
we'll spread the word. I would like to know, that you're very busy. I saw, on the different social media, you have a lot of content. What are you working on? What's coming up for you? Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually what I'm spending the next few weeks on, is, how and what should I talk about now on my platform? I think just for now, messages of hope, because people are just really going through it right now. But I'm going to be working on more. I do live sessions on Instagram. So I'm going to be doing more live sessions where I take
Okay.
everyone on the live. I take them through like 25 minutes of breath work, and people
Okay.
go, they go really deep. And then I gain a lot of trust from doing that from people. And
Mm,
so more live sessions, and just how can I outreach more? I want to outreach to as many people through this time, because
mm,
people are so stressed. So that's my next step and
yeah.
my next goal.
Yeah. I think it's needed. Like I'm very, very impressed with what you're doing,
Thank you.
and realizing what you can do. I didn't realize the extent of how it can help people, the simplicity, and
Hmm.
how, like I said earlier, it doesn't have like, like when I help people, I have to numb them. I have, there's some medication sometimes. It's a trauma and all this and that. And, breathing, it's like a natural thing. And well, if it can help that much, that's really
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
oh, go ahead.
no, no, sorry,
Oh,
go ahead.
when I go to your office and I'm getting teeth work done, I'm breathing for about 4 or 5 minutes, before someone sees me, and I'm getting ready for, because it is
Mm,
traumatic having someone in your mouth.
yeah.
For me. I-
Well, no, I would, for most people, yeah, I can
yeah.
tell you. Yeah.
So, just make, so it helps the body calm and get in that parasympathetic space. And so yeah, absolutely, even
Yeah.
putting on a cute little breathing video before they
Yeah. Oh
in the
no,
chairs, here, just gently breathe to this.
I definitely 100%. I want to speak to you after, and you know, um, have something set up so the clients who are interested can know that this is possible before their appointments and kind of get ready. And on another kind of level, clients that have a lot of, I don't know if I can say PTSD, but other stressors that would help them their health to dive into this, that can have access to your work. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I've worked with a lot of people with PTSD. So, yeah, absolutely. Any way I can be of service, I'm here.
I sense that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank
So,
you.
as we close up here, if someone does want to reach you, what's the best way to book an appointment or benefit from your services?
Yeah, they can reach me at breathewithkimberlyrose.com or my Instagram, breathe with Kimberly Rose. Yeah, and on my Instagram, I have tons of free sessions on there. So
Okay.
in my link in my bio, they can book a one-on-one with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned Instagram. Is that live sessions, or we go over the recorded ones?
Well, in my link in my bio, I have recorded sessions that are for free
Okay.
in there.
Okay.
And then throughout my social media feed, there's little videos all the way down. I probably have 100 sessions on the feed just from a live Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have the live Instagram regularly? Is there a particular
Yeah,
time, or?
that's what I'm gonna start working on doing next
I
week.
see. I
Yeah.
see. Okay.
So
Make sure
once a week, I'll do a free live. Yep.
okay. When you have that time slot locked in, let me know, and
Okay.
I'll
I
tell
will.
my people about that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Any last tip before you let us go? People should do every day, or anything like
Yeah.
that?
When you wake up, as you're lying in bed, just take 3 minutes to take some deeper breaths, at your lunch break, or if you're in the line somewhere, just, and if you're bored, just focus, or just start taking in 3 deeper breaths. That's it. Wherever you go through the day, just take a few deep breaths, and it'll start to train your body to take deeper breaths when you're stressed, just naturally. It'll just be breathing on its own, deeper.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, Kimberly, thank you so much. This was really enlightening to me,
Thank
and
you.
you can see how you can really help a lot of people. I'm a believer, so I'll definitely connect again. And yeah, I'm keen to introduce that to people, and I think you can help a lot of people, and I want to help that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I would be honored. Thanks so much for having me.
Okay. All right. You're welcome. Thank you.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Bye bye.